Hi everybody, welcome, good morning. Hopefully everybody's feeling pretty good this morning. I don't know, my cat's here again. So if you've joined me the last week, my cat pops in and out of this yoga practice. His name is Bo. If you haven't met me before, my name is Shannon, so welcome. We're gonna get started today. I'm gonna add in some different variations to our practice today. So just take whatever works for you and leave the rest. So I'm going to offer some different options. I'm going to move a little bit more this morning. So if you're not feeling like moving as much, you'll take some different options. Anyways, hello and welcome everybody from Facebook. If you're online this morning, it's 9 o'clock here. And hey, scoot. So you can start in a tall seat if you like. You could lie down or you could come to child's pose. Awesome. If you're just joining us, welcome. We're going to practice for 60 minutes and we're just going to get started here. So start to connect into your breath, whether you're lying down or on your seat or in child's pose. Each time you breathe in, maybe lengthen up through your spine a little bit. And as you exhale, settle into your seat or feel the ground beneath you if you're lying down or in child's pose. And a practice I've been working with is letting my exhale, oh my cat's playing, this is great. Letting my exhale be a little longer than my inhale. And really letting go as you exhale. Start to let go of any tension that you're holding in your shoulders, maybe through your jaw, your eyebrows. And especially see if you can follow the rhythm of your breath so that your mind settles a little bit. If you have been like most of us, our minds have been quite busy the last couple of weeks. See if you can settle your thoughts as you notice your breath. Take about 5 more breaths here. Breathing all the way up into your heart space. And exhaling all the way down to the base of your spine. Just as you're ready, if your eyes are closed, begin to open up your eyes. And hello everybody, if you've just joined us. We're going to begin in tabletop today, and you're more than welcome to modify anything that you can. I'm going to cue a little bit here as we move along. So starting in tabletop today, we're going to start to arch and round through our spine, inhaling and exhaling as you move. And I'm going to continue to cue you to come back to your breath, bringing you into your body, bringing you into the present moment, and hopefully helping to settle your mind in this time. If you'd like to add some movement from tabletop, you could make some big circles. Cat loves it when I'm in tabletop. Hey! Big circles. You could move your hips from side to side. You could move your hips towards your heels. Any movement that feels good here. Sometimes I just close my eyes and move in a way that feels good. Scoot. We're going to take a moment to pause in child's pose. So either with your knees a little wider than your hips or your knees towards one another. Sit back on your heels, and again, if child's pose isn't comfortable, you'll come to a seat or find another place that feels comfortable here. Take a couple deep breaths into the back of your body, and as you exhale, you could open your mouth and clear it out. Let your shoulder blades soften on towards your back. Let your heart melt towards the floor. And just let your entire body and your nervous system start to settle here. So you're more than welcome to stay in child's pose for the next few breaths. We're going to move into downward facing dog today. For those of you not wanting to come into downward dog, stay in child's pose. Hi, buddy. And if you're coming into downward dog, begin to lift your hips up and back and create a little bit of movement here. Hi. Hey. Yeah. My cat, if you just met him, his name is Bo. He loves it when I do yoga, especially downward dog. Scoot. If you haven't met me before, my name is Shannon, and each time I come to my mat, just allow myself to move in a way that feels good. So trust in your body's wisdom here. I'm offering a number of things, but if there's something different that you need, please modify as you need, or add or take away, or whatever it is that you need. So trust in your body's wisdom here. So whether you're in down dog or child's pose, we're just going to take a couple more breaths here. Hey. You're so silly. You're so silly. Now, we're going to come, if you're in child's pose, come up to tabletop, and then we're going to come into plank pose today, and shoulders over your wrists. And if you would like, knees come onto the ground here, or you could have your hips lifted. Shoulders roll back, heart forward. We're going to take a deep breath here. And then on our exhale, we're going to bend our elbows and lower, come all the way down to the ground. And as you come down towards the ground, bring your hands back underneath your shoulders, roll your shoulders back and down. We're going to take a low cobra here. So just a gentle press through your hands, opening up through your heart, shoulders rolling back. And you could even lift your hands here if you like for a little bit more core strength, core stability. Stay connected to your breath. There'll be a slight pulsation, a little bit of a lift, and a little rise and fall as you're moving with your breath here. And when you're ready, we're going to press back to tabletop, and we're either going to move to downward dog, or you're going to move your hands back and come right into a standing forward fold. Either way, we're going to make our way into standing forward fold, walking your hands back towards your feet, allowing your upper body to hang. And you could grab opposite elbows here. You could let your arms dangle. You could stay here in stillness, or you could create a little bit of movement here. So maybe moving from your left foot to your right foot, or swaying a little bit here. What are you doing? Huh? You're so silly. Come on. Just a couple more breaths in our standing forward fold here. If you feel at any time you have a little extra energy to release, take a deep breath in through your nose, and then open your mouth and just clear it out. Let it go. There's so much going on right now. So let some of that energy go, that heavy energy. So either taking some time to ragdoll, press through your feet, roll yourself up to stand, or bring your hands to your hips and rise, and take one breath to rise and come up. Now I'm going to step forward to the front of my mat. Some of you may already be there. When you're ready, come to mountain pose. Just take a moment to feel both feet on the ground. Super important right now to feel grounded and connected, especially when this can get so scattered up here in these uncertain times. So eyes open or eyes closed. Take a couple more deep breaths here. And when your next inhale comes, reach your arms up overhead, and on your exhale, we're going to come right back down into our forward fold. I should have mentioned, if you have yoga blocks, you can have them here with you to support you. If not, it's okay too. We're going to place our hands on our shins, lift up about halfway. Exhale, fold back in, and then hands to your hips, and let's rise. Come all the way up. And this time, reach your arms up at the top, full stretch, and hands to heart center. So we're going to move like that a couple more times. You're welcome to stay in a forward fold or stay in mountain pose if you're not feeling like moving as much today. Moving with your breath, inhale, lift up about halfway. And then exhale, bow in again. And then rise to stand, reach your arms up, full stretch. And exhale. One more time like that, inhale. And exhale. And then inhale, find that halfway lift, exhale, fold, and we're going to rise one more time. Reach your arms up, full stretch, and hands to heart center. And again, take a moment just to pause. Inhale, reach your arms up, full stretch. Exhale, bow forward, back into your forward fold, and we're going to find one more halfway lift here. Lengthen your heart forward, shoulders roll back. We're going to take a big step back with our left foot, long stride lunge. You can bring your back knee on the ground, or you can keep your back knee lifted. So you can be here, or you can have your back knee lifted. We're going to take a little bit of a twist here, keeping your left hand down. Bring your right hand to your right hip, and maybe reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Couple more breaths here. And when your exhale comes, place your hands down. You step back to downward facing dog, or you can come to child's pose, and we're going to take a couple breaths here. You can walk it out a little bit in down dog. Press one heel down, then the opposite knee. If you'd like to move a bit more, I'm going to offer in some vinyasa, so you can come to child's pose at any time. You can stay in down dog, or come forward to plank pose as you breathe in, and then knees up or knees down, exhale and come all the way to the floor. Take an inhale for cobra, shoulders back and down. And we're going to exhale, moving back to downward dog or moving back to child's pose. And we're going to make our way back into a forward fold. So either by walking your hands to your feet or stepping your feet forward, fold yourself in. Maybe grab opposite elbows here. Take a couple more clearing breaths in through your nose and then out through your mouth. And maybe again here. Now if you'd like to slow things down, ragdoll up to standing, take a couple breaths, or hands to your hips and take a full breath in to rise. Reach your arms up for that one. And hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up again, and then exhale, bow forward. So moving a little bit more today than the last couple classes, but always trusting in your body's wisdom. We're going to step our right foot back this time. So low lunge here, back knee comes to the ground. High lunge, back knee stays lifted. We're going to keep our right hand down this time. Left hand to your left hip, or reach your left arm up, connecting to your breath. And when your exhale comes, place your hand down. Again, stepping to downward dog or child's pose, or moving through vinyasa. So coming to plank pose, lowering down, finding cobra, and downward dog again. So this time we're going to all take a pause in child's pose, taking a moment here, slowing our breath down. Allow yourself to feel grounded. Your forehead's connected to the ground, or you can place your palms underneath your forehead here. Feel your breath move into the back of your body, up into your shoulder blades, to your heart space. When you're ready, let's rise. Let's come up to tabletop. We're just going to create a little bit of movement here and a bit of balance. So start with your right leg extended back. Your toes can also be tucked instead. You can stay here, or you can extend your left arm forward. We're going to create some movement. So our exhale is a draw in, round through your spine, hug in, and inhale extends out. You can also do this with both hands planted. Exhale, knee to chest, forehead to knee, and inhale, extend your leg back. Take 2 more breaths like this. And 1 more breath. And as you're ready, both hands come down, both knees come down. You can pause here, you can move a little bit through cat and cow. Inhaling. Speaking of cat, that cat is up on his little perch, staring out into the world. All right, other side. Left leg extends back. This is your inhale. You can have your right arm extended or right hand down. Exhale, hug in, knee to chest, forehead to knee. Inhale, extend everything out. Or knee to chest, both hands down, and inhale. 2 more breaths. And last breath. And as you're ready, both hands come down, both knees down, tabletop. You can pause here in the center or move a little bit with your breath. All right, so either walking your hands towards your feet, coming into forward fold, or coming to downward dog, and then making your way into standing forward fold. Let's walk our upper body a little bit over towards the left, and your arms might also stretch over to the left a little bit here. See if you can fold in. Try to keep your hips square, so try not to take your hips with you, finding a little bit of length through your side. You might also feel this through your legs and your hips. When you're ready, coming back to the center and over to the other side. When you're ready, coming back to the center. And again, taking a ragdoll to stand or hands to your hips. Take 1 breath to rise. Come all the way up. All right. Let's come back to the front of our mats. Starting with your right foot forward. Take a step back with your left foot. And you're going to want to plant your left heel. So a stride that feels long enough yet not so that your back heel's lifting. We're coming into warrior 1. Bending into your front knee, hips are facing forward here. You can keep your hands on your hips, elbows in. Try to bring your shoulders back, core's drawing in and lengthening up through the top of your head. I realize now you can't really see the top of my head too much here. Is that right? And you can keep your hands on your hips, or if you like, arms overhead, or bend your elbows wide so you're in goddess arms. So look like this with your arms. Let's move my mat back a little bit here. Oh boy, that's a bit better. All right, taking a couple deep breaths in warrior 1 pose here. Feeling the anchoring through your legs, but feeling some openness, some freedom maybe into your upper body. Now when you're ready, placing your hands to your heart, start to straighten out your front leg, hips still facing forward. You can always shorten your stride here a little bit if you like. We're going to come into pyramid pose, hinging forward and down. Now you could place your hands on the floor. If you have blocks, this would be a fantastic time to have your hands on blocks for a little bit more support. You could also, if coming all the way to the floor is too much, you could bring your hand above your knee, but just have a solid bend to your knee here and fold in a bit more. Cat. Let your head release maybe towards your shin. If your front leg is is pretty tight, keep a bend in your front knee. If not, you can work towards getting your leg a bit straighter. Try to relax your shoulders. Let go of the weight of your head. Now we're going to start to extend our arms forward. You can take your blocks with you if you have them. Lift your back heel, lift your back leg up, and press down into your standing leg. Square your hips, relax through your shoulders. You can take your right hand to your right leg if you like, and fold in. And just whenever you're ready, coming back to a standing forward fold, taking a clearing breath. Maybe release your upper body, a little bit of movement, or just pausing here in the center. As you're ready, ragdolling to stand or hands to your hips, taking one breath to rise, come all the way up. And we're taking the other side here, so stepping your right foot back, starting in warrior one, planting your back heel, bend into your front knee. So, a little bit of off balance on this side. Front knee should be over your ankle. So if your front knee pops forward of your ankle like this, try to move back a little bit, move your back leg further back. As you're ready, any arm variation. If you want a little bit more opening for your shoulders and your chest, clasp your hands behind you, shoulders back, or you can straighten your arms here. Little crack. You can stay here if that's too much. Hands to your hips, elbows in, goddess arms. Couple more breaths here. Feel the anchoring of your back heel as you bend a bit more into your front knee. Just as you're ready, hands come to heart center. Find a little length through your spine. Straighten out your front leg and begin to hinge forward and down. Again, you can always take in a little adjustment. Bring your back foot a little closer. Squaring your hips here. Folding in. Connecting to your breath. Try to relax your shoulders. Relax the top of your head. If you're feeling a lot of tension in the back of your leg, take a little bend. If not, you can work your leg a little straighter if you like. And just as you're ready, we're going to lift up, walk our hands forward, extend your arms forward, lift your back leg up. Try to keep your hips square. You can grab your left ankle or shin if you like, or keep both hands rooted. Press down into your standing leg, lift your back leg up. A couple more breaths here. And just when you're ready, coming back to your forward fold, taking a clearing breath or two in through your nose, out through your mouth. Shake out your head a little bit perhaps. And a little bit of movement here. And when you're ready, rising to stand, either ragdolling up or hands to your hips. One breath in to come to mountain pose. Again, feeling both feet on the ground here. Take a couple deep breaths. Okay, so I'm going to turn to face everyone. You can do the same by facing the long edge of your mat. And we're going to start with our right foot facing towards the smaller edge of your mat, depending on which way you're standing. Start to bend into your front knee here. Hands on your hips, lengthen through your spine. So you can keep your hands on your hips if you like. Your arms can reach out. We're coming to warrior two, gazing towards your front hand and keeping this bend into your front knee here. Create a little bit of movement. Let your shoulders soften. Come back to your breath. Just a couple more breaths here. Feel the anchoring of your back foot. Bend a little bit more into your front knee. So we're going to straighten out our front leg for a moment here. Take a breath in, find a little length, engage to your core, moving to triangle pose, reaching forward through your front hand. Bring your front hand down either to your shin, the inside of your leg. Some of you might have a block to place your hand on or on the floor. Back hand reaches up towards the ceiling, and then you can look up or look down or look forward, whatever feels most comfortable for your neck here. A couple more breaths. If you want a little bit more core stability here, you can reach your top arm forward, maybe your bottom arm forward as well. I'm not going to do that this morning, but you go ahead. And just as you're ready, we're going to rise and come back up. Now, hands to your hips. If you like, bend into your front knee again. This time we're going to reach forward, light with your elbow on your front leg. Some of you might be able to place your hand on the floor or hand on a block. We're coming to side angle pose here, shoulders back, heart open, either hand on your hip or reaching your arm up or stretching your upper arm over your ear. Try to relax your shoulder blades onto your back. Connecting to your breath. Last breath here. And inhale, let's come all the way back up. Straighten out your front leg. Bring both feet towards the long edge of your mat. Now, if you looked at your feet, the outer edges of your feet could be in line with the sides of your mat. Toes are pointing forward. Take a breath in here. Bow forward into a wide-legged forward fold. Hands on blocks, hands on the floor. Some of you might want to interlace your hands behind your back and lift your knuckles up towards the ceiling. Now, wherever it is that you are, use this moment to connect into your breath, but also feel the connection of your feet on the ground, the connection of your legs, and coming back to your breathing. When you're ready, start to press your hands down underneath your shoulders, lifting up about halfway. Take a bend to your knees, maybe hands on your the tops of your legs, hands on your hips, and then inhale to rise and come back up. Okay. We're going to take our left foot out this time, bend into your left knee. So we're going to start in Warrior Two here again. Hips and shoulders facing the long edge of your mat, lengthening through your spine, arms extending out. Or hands can stay on your hips. Begin to look forward. Notice your breathing. Taking a few more breaths here. And when you're ready, straightening out your front leg. Taking another breath to lengthen up here, reaching forward, triangle pose, front hand comes down to your shin, hey buddy. And you can have your hand to your back hand to your hip or extending up and reaching up here. For those of you wanting that core strength, both arms are reaching forward and or not. Come here, buddy. You just joined us. My cat likes to do yoga with me. His name's Bo. Inhale, come back up. He'll just wander in and out as we practice. So one more wide-legged forward fold. This time I'm going to offer a twist for anyone who'd like to take that. If not, just stay folded forward. Taking a breath in here. Exhale, bow forward. Come back into your wide-legged forward fold. Now, if you're going to take the twist, start with your arms straight, hands underneath your shoulders. Bring your left hand a little bit more to the center. Try to keep your hips where they are, not twist through your hips. Place your right hand on your right hip and turn towards the right. You can keep your hand on your hip, shoulders back, or you can extend your right arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, hand comes down. Right hand underneath your shoulder. Left hand to your left hip. Pause here. You can turn to the left, shoulders back, or extend your left arm up towards the ceiling. If your arm's out on an angle or you feel like you're forcing it, hand to your hip, shoulders back. And exhale. Kind of fold into the center. For those of you that took the twist, just pause in the center for a moment. Taking a couple more breaths here. Come here, Bo. Bozy. When you're ready, press your hands underneath your shoulders, lifting up about halfway here. And then hands to your thighs or hands to your hips, rise and come up. All right. Let's turn our right foot back towards the front or towards the small edge of your mat here. We're going to come back to warrior two. Arms extending out. Now you can stay here or you can clasp your hands behind your back. Straighten your arms, take a breath in, and then bow to the inside of your front leg, lifting your arms up, really anchoring through your back heel, back outer edge of your foot. Anytime you can release and come out. We're going to spend 2 more breaths here. When you're ready, press down and rise to come all the way back up. Extend out through your arms again, both legs straight, triangle pose again, hands come down, front hand to your shin, back hand to your hip, or back arm reaching up towards the ceiling. So we're going to move towards the balance again. Hands come down, maybe hop your back foot forward a little bit, and then walk your hands forward so they're underneath your shoulders. This time, try to open up through your back hip. Point your toes towards the side of your mat. Maybe bring your left hand to your left hip. Maybe your shoulders come back. And maybe you extend your arm up. If not, both hands can stay on the ground for stability, or you can work with your hand on your hip. Half moon pose. A little bit wobbly, super tight. Good. We're going to step forward into a forward fold. Take a moment to pause here. Take a couple clearing breaths. I don't know about you, but I definitely feel stress in my body. That's usually where I hold it. So lately I've been feeling quite tight from all the tension that's been sitting in my body. So moving on my mat feels really good. So I appreciate all of you coming to watch the classes. Gives me definitely a sense of purpose here right now. So when you're ready, we're going to rise and come up. Take a moment in mountain if you like. And then we're going to move again towards the long edge of our mat. We're going to do those other poses on the other side, starting in warrior two again. So left foot towards the small edge of your mat. Here, you can pause here. You can interlace your hands behind you, find a little length, and fold in. If you're not folding in, you're staying maybe in warrior two. Keep your back foot rooted. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And when you're ready, we're going to rise and come up. So lots of options. Take it or leave, whatever I'm offering. A little bit more of an active practice. If you're looking for something gentler, start to straighten out your front leg first. Actually, let's move to triangle pose. If you're looking for something gentler, my last 2 classes were a little bit slower. This one's a little bit more vigorous. A couple more breaths in triangle pose. I'm thinking about offering a restorative yoga class soon as well, for those of you that want to really decompress at the end of the night. So we're going to move towards our left foot. Pop your right foot forward. Walk your hands forward. So we're moving towards half moon pose. Back, hips open up. Maybe keeping both hands down, but maybe bringing your right hand to your right hip here. turning your heart open, maybe extending your arm up here. Connect to your breath. And just when you're ready, we're going to bring both hands down if they're lifted. Both feet come down. Take a forward fold, maybe a clearing breath. And then maybe slow down a little bit. Take 2 or 3 or 4 breaths to ragdoll up to stand. Nice. All right. So I'm going to move into squat pose. I know this is not accessible for everybody here, but I'm going to give a few options. So if you have a yoga block, you could use that as an option. If you don't need it, it's okay. So you could take a half squat here, elbows on your upper legs, sitting back down. If you have a block, you could use the block to sit on. You can even sit on the floor like this, okay? So a little bit of a different option. If you want to skip all of that, you can come into a full squat here. And if you would like, you could close your eyes. You can open your eyes. You can move around a little bit. You can just pause here in the stillness. Anytime you need to come out, come out. I'm going to stay for a couple more breaths, but you're more than welcome to come out sooner. And just in any way that makes sense, come on down to your seat. Maybe extend both legs forward, shake it out a little bit. Or my favorite, feet on the ground and windshield wiper your knees a few times from side to side. All right. So working into a little bit of our hips here today. And we're going to start in lizard pose. I've been practicing lizard pose with each of the classes. I'm just finding that my hips just need some opening, so I'm just making assumption that yours does too. We're going to come back into a lunge position, so right foot forward or whatever foot forward, and this time bringing your foot a little wider, toes turned out a little bit. If you have blocks, you can use blocks here. Now, you find a little length here, so if your back knee is right underneath your hip, maybe scoot it back a bit if you can. Give a little length. If you have yoga blocks, sometimes it's handy if you want to come into the pose a little bit deeper onto your forearms and you can't quite reach the floor. If you're really rounding through your upper back, come back up onto your hands, just placing your hands on the floor. Connecting to your breath. Sometimes I like to make a little bit of movement. I'm going to offer a movement here. So you can turn and twist towards your front leg, or you can just stay here in the center. For those of you twisting towards your front leg, the last option would be is to grab your back foot and take a thigh stretch. So I'm going to show you just from the side here. So my right hand is going to reach back, grab the top of my left foot, settle into the lunge, and turn open towards the right. It's not accessible to everybody. If you took the thigh stretch, you can release that and just come back to the center for the last few breaths here. So just as you're ready, straightening out your front leg, walk your foot in towards the center, and you can lift the bottom of your front foot. Now, I have blocks. I'm going to use them today. I'm feeling quite tight in my hips and my legs, but your hands can be also on the floor here. If you need to bend this knee a little bit more, go ahead and do that. If not, working that front leg straighter, but flexing your toes back maybe. You can stay lifted here. You can begin to fold forward and down, connecting to your breath. Stretching out the back of your legs is really, really key, especially if you're experiencing some low back issues. Get the back of your legs stretched out, lengthened out here. Last 2 breaths. So we're going to start to draw our front leg back. Options here, child's pose. You could lift your leg, maybe make some hip circles. If you'd like to come into downward dog, walk it out a little bit here. Maybe make some hip circles in down dog. And then just as you're ready, we're going to come to the other side, starting in lizard pose here. So if you started with your right foot forward, it'd be your left foot. This side can feel very different than the first side. So just seeing where you'd like to have your hands on the floor. For those of you that have blocks, if you don't have yoga blocks, just thinking of something householdy. If you have any ideas, let me know. Cushions and such are a little bit squishy, although you could use cushions for restorative practice or rolled up blankets. Coming back to your breathing. It can be quite an intense pose sometimes, so use your breath to clear it out, maybe in through your nose and out through your mouth. For those of you that took the twist, so you could either hang out here, turning towards your front leg. If you took the thigh stretch, you're going to reach back. You can even come out of the pose altogether, grab your foot. As long as you can come back into the pose and turn a little bit towards your front leg. If you took the twist, come on out for the last couple breaths here. Now we're going to begin to straighten out our front leg and walk it in. Now if you have blocks, you can use blocks. I'm going to use blocks for this one here. Straightening out your front leg. You could keep a bend in your knee, especially if the back of your leg's really, really tight here. And pausing here, or you could fold in a little bit. Coming back to your breath. Softening in. So if you have any suggestions for times of classes, days, I'm going to be putting together a schedule for the next couple weeks. Styles of classes, this one's a bit more active than the last 2 classes were, but I know some people were looking for maybe a restorative practice. So when you're ready, you're going to draw your front leg back. Option to come into child's pose again. Maybe working into downward dog for a few breaths. If you're in down dog, you could also take a vinyasa. So you could move forward to plank pose. You could bring your knees down or knees up, lower down. We will take a few breaths in child's pose together, just as you're ready. Supporting your head, maybe with your hands underneath your forehead or hands forward, maybe your head reaches the ground. Notice your breath moving into the back of your body. Notice the front of your body as you exhale. And just as you're ready, we're going to come all the way up. We are going to come to recline onto our back, so just take a moment to lie down on your back. When you get to your back, you could have your knees on the floor. You could windshield wiper your knees a few times from side to side, or you could hug both your knees up into your chest. Rock a little bit here, side to side. We're going to come into figure 4 pose. So start with maybe your left foot on top of your right upper leg, and you can gently, if you like, place your hand and move your left leg slightly away from you, as long as that doesn't create any pressure on your knee joint. You could stay here. If you have a block, you can even pop a block underneath your foot, but if it's accessible, you can bring your right knee towards your chest and interlace your hands behind your knee. Try to relax your shoulders. Come back to your breathing. For anyone that has a little bit more mobility in their hips, you can also switch your grip so your hand comes to the top of your shin, or not. Just a couple more breaths on this side. And as you're ready, release that. If you'd like to maybe extend your legs forward, give it a little shake, or feet on the ground, windshield wiper your knees. And we're going to come to the other side when you're ready. So starting here, you could pause, hang out here. This might be enough for some of you. You could bring your foot onto something a little bit higher onto the ground, like a block or a cushion, or you could bring your left knee in towards your chest. If your right foot's across your body, that is, your right leg's across your body. And then try to relax your shoulders and come into your breath here. And as you're breathing, maybe notice the back of your body connected to the floor. Notice the change maybe when you breathe in and out. Notice the back of your body against the floor. And just as you're ready, let's release that side. And again, find a release that works for you here. All right, we're going to come into bridge pose. Feet underneath your knees. Draw your shoulder blades underneath you if you can a little bit. Just press into your elbows, broaden across your chest. I'm going to start with my hands palms facing towards one another. I'm going to press through the backs of my arms, press through my feet, lift my hips, and then walk my shoulder blades underneath me a bit. Now, as you press down, try to get a little bit of length through your spine, lift your chin slightly perhaps, and you could stay here, or if you like, you can bring your hands to the ground, or you can interlace your hands underneath you and maybe walk your shoulder blades towards one another a bit more. Continue to press down through your feet. Couple more breaths here. And whenever you're ready, just making your way all the way back down towards the floor. You could bring your knees up into your chest. You could windshield wiper your knees. Take a couple clearing breaths here if you need. Now we're going to come into to this one more time. I'm going to give another option for this next pose, but you can stay where you were the last time. Pressing down into your feet, lift your hips, draw your shoulder blades towards one another. You could also interlace your hands underneath you. For those of you that want, you could bring your left knee into your left chest, left knee into your chest, maybe point your toes up towards the ceiling and bring that down, and maybe the right side. And when you're ready, coming back down, finding a release here, maybe knees to chest, maybe windshield wipering, maybe extending your legs forward or giving yourself a full body stretch here. As you're ready, coming back to center, we're going to take a twist, so moving your hips to one side. Take your knees over to the other side. So whatever side your hips move towards, maybe coming down, bring your knees to the other side. If you have room to extend your arms, You can extend your arms. If not, you keep them down beside you. Just a couple more breaths on this side. Maybe breathe into your lower belly or lower back. My stomach started to growl. Hopefully you didn't hear that. And when you're ready, bring your knees to the center. And let's go to the other side. Again, connecting into your breath. Try to settle your body towards the floor. So if you feel like you're clenching or there's some tension in your body, find a position, find something that feels a little bit more relaxing. You can always move your feet away from you a bit. And when you're ready, coming back to the center, finding your hips back towards the middle of your mat. And come into bound angle posture. If this is accessible for you, the bottoms of your feet come together to touch. Your knees fall open to the sides. Draw your shoulder blades underneath you. Anywhere that's comfortable for your arms, just find a place that feels comfortable. Hands on your belly, maybe beside you. Take a couple clearing breaths here if you need. If it's comfortable, you can close your eyes. We're going to move into Shavasana next. So for those of you that feel like you want to put on something a bit warmer, or perhaps you have a blanket ready for yourself, just take a moment to put on your socks or your sweater or your blanket. And I always like to offer people, if it's not everybody's comfortable lying flat on their back for about 5 minutes, so if that's you, you could come onto your side. You could come to the front of your body and draw one knee up to the side, or anything else that feels comfortable, maybe child's pose or just coming back to your seat. If you're lying on your back, extend out through your arms. Let your feet fall to the sides. Let's all take a clearing breath together, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And this is such an important time to, especially right now, just to be. Give yourself this gift of this time to do nothing, to just be here. I'll be here for about 4 or 5 minutes. begin to deepen your breath. Make some gentle movements, maybe with your fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Give yourself a full body stretch here. You could hug your knees into your chest if you like. And when you're ready, coming over to your side, take a moment here. Take a couple deep breaths. Just as you're ready, pressing all the way up to your seat. With your eyes open or your eyes closed, you can bring your palms together at your heart or both hands over your heart, or any other gesture of closing that works for you. And then closing practice with a couple deep breaths of gratitude. Sometimes in these changing, uncertain times, it's hard to find, or it's hard for us to see the things that are so wonderful. So try to find those things that you're so grateful for right now. Maybe even start to make a gratitude list so that you can turn to that when your mind goes sort of down that rabbit hole of despair and negativity. Try to find those things that are wonderful right now, that are great. And hold on to those pieces, those little nuggets. And I want to thank everyone for being here. I appreciate you all very much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. Thanks again. My name's Shannon, if you haven't met me before. I'm going to be here again, so let me know when and what kind of classes and what works for you. Looking forward to seeing you some more. Take care, everybody. Bye.